These are people that just don't have, it's like phobias. Somebody has a phobia, anxiety, you can deal with that, and it's got a very good prognosis. Personality disorders don't have the best prognosis because in the individual's eyes, what they're doing is working for them. So their belief is, why fix what ain't broke? A narcissist doesn't respond well in part because they don't see a problem. They think they're special. They think they're unique. They think they got it going on. They live in a fantasy world in which they are the top dog. They are the...
Like, I don't see myself better than anyone else. And
come change your son's poopy diaper.
A unique, entitled, special individual. What is there to fix? It's the rest of you that have the problem. Catch up. Get your game together. I don't have the problem. You have the problem. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Y'all have heard me say that. A narcissist is not going to acknowledge that they have a problem. Why would they have a to-do list? And the answer is they wouldn't. They don't. They don't have a to-do list. Most personality disorders don't have a to-do list because they think what they're doing is protecting them, working for them, getting them what they want. If you're not going to change them, what are you going to do? You're going to have to learn to deal with them. You're going to have to learn to not allow yourself to be sucked down by these people, to not get into their ego suck hole where you just get pulled down into this dark, bottomless pit where you cannot ever do enough to make these people happy. The first thing I want you to do is establish some boundaries and recognize it's not your job to fix them. You couldn't fix them if it was your job. You cannot let them have the power to determine how you feel about who you are. If you give them the power to determine your self-worth in a relationship, whether it's romantic or as a family member or at work, whatever the situation, if you give them the power to determine your validation, your self-worth, I promise you, you're going to lose because they have to put you down in order for them to feel better. It's what...
I want him gone. Just he is. He is a lowlife. He's good for nothing.
That's why I said I hope I don't face something I'm gonna regret. I've been concerned about him. I've been concerned about your health.
Jesse's the most stupid person I know right now. You call him up, and if he was here, I swear I'd hit him. If he was here, I swear I'd hit him. I'd do it. When I was up there, if I was you, I'd run from that boy.
What I call leveling. They either have to build themselves up so they feel equal to or superior, or they have to shoot you down so they don't think you've got anything over on them. That's leveling. They can't be in a one-down position ever, so they always have to, in some way, keep you from having any advantage. If you feel good about yourself, if you are at peace with yourself, if you think you're in touch with your authentic self, if you have a good sense of self-worth, a good definition of self, they can't suffer that because it gives you a sense of power and peace that they just can't endure. So they have to take that away from you. They have to tear that down. You cannot let that happen. That's why I say you've got to set up a boundary. You cannot take the bait. You cannot be the bait. Let me tell you what I mean by that. These people are going to say things that anybody would find offensive. They're going to violate your rights. It's not just being assertive. Assertiveness is when someone acts in a way to protect their own rights. They do it without stepping on anyone else's rights. Aggressiveness is when people assert their rights and they trample all over someone else's rights. That's what a narcissist does. They do it by gaslighting. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. If you're dealing with a narcissist, get out your fire extinguisher because you're going to get gaslit. They are going to talk to you in such a way that anything that goes wrong is your fault. Anything that they do is your fault. You're going to hear phrases, I mentioned a few of them before. I didn't say that. I'm not mad. It's not that big a deal. Why are you being so sensitive? Why are you blowing this all out of proportion? What is wrong with you? It all keeps coming back to what's wrong with you. They're happy to answer that question. You're too sensitive. That's the gaslighting phrases you're going to hear. If you don't have a boundary, you're going to take that bait and start questioning yourself whether or not, well, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. But what do I want you to do? I want you to remember this conversation that we're having right now. I told you this was going to be a little different, that I just wanted it to be a conversation. I want you to remember when this happens, when I was on my walk and I was listening to Dr. Phil in my earbuds, this is exactly what he was talking about.